Okay, let's begin. Us. Here today our topic is the factorization. Here the factorization is the process of breaking down an expressions into a product of simpler expressions. Like uh, the first, like, the first rule of the factoring is the common factoring. Let we have a expression like this. Now we can see the both two expressions have a common factor of 2. Then we need to get it has a common factor. Like, let me give you another example. Now, we have 4x plus 8. Then here the both terms have the common factor of 4. Then we need to get it as a common factor. When we consider 4x plus 8, if we get the common factor as 4, then there is only x with x. Then 8 can be written as 4 times 2. Then we get 4 out of this. Then there is still 2. Then we can say that this can be factorized as 4 times x plus 2. Okay. Now consider another example. Okay. Now here there are numbers and variables. Variables are x and y. Now we have to look each terms separately and try to identify what are the common factors of these expressions. Here we need to get the greatest common factor from all the separate terms. Like when we consider 18, 24, 30, we know that 6 is the greatest common factor of these all three. Then from this, first we can get 6 as a common factor. And also when we look again for that, we can see the x term is common for all the three terms. Then if we get first term has x cube, second has x to the power 2, third term has x to the power 4. From these, we can get x square as the greatest common factor. Then we know we can write x cube as x times x times x. Then we can join this as x square. Then we can write x cube as x times x square. Okay. Then when first in the first term 6 and x square are common. Then there is 3 and y square. When we consider the second term, there is a minus sign and 24 is 6 times 4, then there is a 4 in the second term remaining. And when we get the x square term, there is only x square term, then x square term is vanished, and only 1 is remaining. And there is still a y cube. Then when consider the fourth term, when we get out 6, there is a remaining 5. And x to the power 4 can be written as x to the power 2 times x to the power 2. Then we get out the x to the power 2, then there is still x to the power 2. Okay. Then this can be factorized as 6 times x square times 3y square minus 4y cube plus 5x square. Here, like factorization means first they give us, us the expression like this. We need to do is simplify this expression as a product of simpler expressions. Here, all are addition and subtraction. But here, we develop that as a product of simple expression, like 6 times x square times 3y square minus 4y cube plus 5x square. Okay, this is the first rule. First rule is we need to do the common factoring. This is the rule number 1. Okay. Now I give 2 questions. You can try out and send me the answers. Okay, I will repeat these 2 again. Uh, Here, our short trick is we need to find factors of minus 42. Here, we need to find 2 numbers that multiply and give the 42. And by adding those 2, we need to get plus 1. Easily, we can find those 2 as 7 and minus 6. When we multiply 7 times minus 6, we get minus 42. And we add 7 minus 1, we get 7 minus 6, we get 1. Then factors are in first, we write x in both brackets. Then we write one factor in one bracket and another factor in other bracket. Okay. Now, if we consider the second question, it is x square minus 9x plus 18. Then we need to find 2 numbers that by multiplying those 2 numbers, we need to get 18. And by adding those 2 numbers, we need to get minus 9. Here we can easily found these 2 numbers are minus 6 and minus 3. When we multiply minus 6 and minus 3, we get plus 18. When we add minus 6 and minus 3, we get minus 9. Then the 2 factors are x, x, and from one number we get minus 6. From other number, we get minus 3. This is the 2 factors of the quadratic trinomial. Okay, now we try to factorize the trinomials that the coefficient of x square is not equal to 1. Like, let me consider example 2x square plus 5x plus 3. The steps that you learn from O level are still the same. We get the term with the square and the constant term. Then we multiply those two. Then we get 6 times x square. Then we find two factors that by multiplication it gives 6 times x square, and by adding those two terms it gives 5x. We can easily found those two terms as 2x times 3x. By multiplying these two terms, we can get 6 square, and by adding 2x and 3x, we get 5x. Then we replace the 5x with these two terms. 2x square plus 5x we replace as 2x 5 plus 3x plus 3. Then we group these two terms one and group these two terms and as another. Then we observe, when we consider these two terms, 2x is common for all. Then if we get 2x from this, there is a remaining x. And if we get 2x from this term, there is a remaining 1. And when we observe these two terms, 3 is the common factor for this. Then we can get 3x plus 1. When we consider this term and this term, x plus 1 is common for both terms. Then we can get x plus 1 as a common term. Then there is a remaining 2x from this and remaining 3x from this, 3 from this. Then the two factors of this quadratic trinomial is x plus 1 and 2x plus 3. Let's try to do another example. Let's get 12x square plus 7x minus 10. Still, the steps are same. We get this term and this term and multiply these two. Then we get 120 times x square. Then we need to find two terms that by multiplying it gives minus 20x square, and by addition of those two terms we get 7x. Here we can easily found one term as 15x and other term as minus x. When we multiply those two, we get minus 120 times x square, and we add those two terms, we get 7x. Then we replace this 7x with 15x and minus 8x. Then we get 12 times x square plus 15 times x minus 8x minus 10. Then by grouping these two terms and these two terms, we need to find common factors. From this, we can find 3 times x is common factor. Then here remain 4x, and in this term it remains plus 5. When we consider these two terms, we can see that minus 2 is the common term for both two. Then 4x is remaining here and plus 5 is remaining here. Then we observe we can get that 3x minus 2 as one factor and 4x plus 5 as other factor. Okay, now let me write these two again. First one is 2x square plus 5x plus 3. Then we get the factors as 2x plus 3 and x plus 1. The other question is 12x square plus 7x minus 10. Then we got two factors of this as 4x plus 5 and 3x minus 2. Okay. For this, also I have a short trick. I think you never had see or heard this trick. Here we the what we need to do is first we write this. Then in a rough paper or in a separate paper, we need to do the following. Here simply we got this term 2 and multiply it with 3. We remove this 2. Let me repeat again. We remove this 2 and give it to the constant term. Then we get x square plus 5x plus 6. This is the, we know, one step solution for factorize this. It is simply x plus 3 and x plus 2. Let me repeat again the step. We remove the coefficient of the square and give it to the constant term. Then we get x square plus 5x plus 6. Then we know the one-step solution for this. Then we write the solution. Afterwards, we remove the 2. Then we get back this number as this. We divide each constant term of the bracket with that number. Here our number is 2. We divide it the constant with the first bracket and the constant with the second bracket. Then we get two factors as x plus 3 over 2 and x plus 1. Then here we already get the factor as usual. Here the number is we get is a fraction. Then we need to get common denominator here. Common denominator is 2. Then we get 2x plus 3. Then we get the factors as our same factors from the long method. Then we simply remove this. Keep in mind, these all steps are we do a separate graph paper. Then we can 2x 5x plus 3. We can at once write the factors as 2x plus 3 and x plus 1. Let me repeat the step for the other question also. Here we get 12x square plus 7x minus 10. Here in a separate paper, we write this as x square plus 7x. We remove this term and give it to this. Then we get minus 120. Then easily we know that the factors of this is x plus 15 and x minus 8. Then we get this. Then we divide each constant term from that number, that coefficient of the square. Then we need to simplify this fraction. Here we can divide 3 by both denominator and numerator. Then here remaining 4, here remains 5. When we divide 4 by the numerator and denominator, we get 2 and we get 3. Then here remains x plus 5 over 4 and here x minus 2 over 3. Then we get common denominator for this and common denominator for this separately. Then we get 4x plus y and 3x minus 2. Then we ignore those terms. Then we at one step we can get the factors of this as 4x plus 5 and 3x minus 2. Okay. I hope you all get understand about that short trick. And here I give uh, two questions for try out the short trick for you. Mm, First one is 2x square minus 5x plus 3. And the second one is 2x square minus x minus 15. Mm, Try these three and send me the answers. 18. Our third question is 18x square minus 3x minus 10. Here we first remove this coefficient of the square and give it back to minus 10. Then we get x square minus 3x minus 180. Then we factorize this simple trinomial. Here we get 180 as 12 times 15. Then we need to minus 180 and minus 3. Then we can get by multiplying minus 15 with plus 2. Then we get minus 15 times 12 as minus 180. And by adding those two terms, we get minus 3x. Then the two factors are x plus 12 and x minus 15. Then the term we ignore is 80. Then we divide the constant term with only the constant term with that number. 80. 12 divided by 18 and minus 15 divided by 80. Then we need to simplify those two fractions. This is one fraction and this is other fraction. Then we get x plus 12 over 18 and x minus 15 over 18. We can divide these both numerator and denominator with 6. Then we got 6 times 2. Here we got 6 times 3. From this, we can divide both terms from 5. Then we get 3. Then here we get, sorry, we divide both terms from 3. Then we get 5 here and we get 6 here. Then finally we get x plus 2 over 3 and x minus 5 over 6. Then we get, then we do the common denominator. Then we get 3x plus 2 over 3 from the first bracket, and from the second bracket we get 6x minus 5. Then simply we ignore the constant terms that we have in our denominator. Then finally two factors are 3x plus 2 and 6x minus 5. Then finally we have the factors of 18 square minus 3x minus 10 as 6x minus 5 times 3x plus 2. Okay. I hope you all understand that. I will give another example since some students tell that they didn't understand properly when I first explained it. I will give another example for you all. Try this 3x square minus 4x minus 4. Try within 2 minutes and send me the answers for this. Oh. Now I give a separate question. Uh, this is this is 2x cube minus 5x square minus 3x. Here our first rule is if there is a common term for all terms, then we need to get out of that. Here we can see that x is common for all the terms. Then we need to get the x as common for all the terms. Then there's a remaining 2x square minus 5x minus 3. Then we already know how to factor this. Here we, I think we already done that factorization. Here we simply get x minus 3 and 2x plus 1. Here, as our first rule is try to find if there is a common term for all the terms, then we need to get it out of all the terms. Then, if there is a trinomial like this, then we need to factorize that. Okay, let me do another separate equation. 3x square minus 4xy minus 4y square. Here, this expression has two variables, x and y. But the steps are same as the quadratic trinomials. What we do is we get those first term with x square and the last term with y square and multiply those two. Then we get 3 times x square times minus 4 times y square. Then we get minus 12 x square y square. Then we need to find two factors that give by their multiplication. If they need to give minus 12 x square, square times y square. By addition, by adding those two terms, they will need to give minus 4 times xy. Let me repeat again. We like the normal trinomials. We think this has a constant term. Then we multiply the square term with the constant term. Then we get a term like this. Then we need to find two factors that by multiplying the two numbers, we need to get minus 12 times x square times y square. And by adding those two factors, we need to get minus 4 times xy. Here we can simply observe those two terms as minus 6xy times plus 2xy. Simply we get by multiplying those two terms, we get minus 12 times x square y square. And adding those two terms, we get minus 4 times xy. Okay. Then we remove this term and substitute that term with these two terms. Then we get 3x square minus 6xy plus 2xy minus 4y square. Then simply we take these two terms and these two terms separately and try to find out whether they have common factors. Here simply, here we can have 3 times x as common for first two terms. Then the remaining terms are x from here and minus 2y from here. And from these two terms, we get plus 2y as common. Then here we have remaining x, and here we have remaining minus 2y. Then considering these two terms, we have the common factor as x minus 2y. Then there is a remaining terms 3x plus 2y. Then same two factors are these two. Likewise, we can do like out of like not a similar type, some new and different question. Like if we consider 2 times x plus 3 minus 7 times x plus 3 minus 4. Okay. Here I give 2 minutes and try to factorize this with your knowledge and send me the answer. 2 times x plus 3 whole square minus 7 times x plus 3 and minus 4. Give me the factors of this. Okay. I will do this question. Uh, we can do this question by two methods. First, I will do the method that uh, around 90% student will do like this. Here they got this question and try to simplify this. Here we got 2 and here we get x plus 3 whole square. We can simplify it as x plus 3 times x plus 3 and there is a minus 7 times x plus 3 minus 4. This is the method 1. Then we can simplify this x times x plus 3, this term plus this term times this bracket, and this term plus this term times this bracket. Then here we can get minus 7 times x minus 21 and there is a remaining 4. Then when we simplify this we can get x square plus 3x plus 3x plus 9. Then minus 7x minus 21 minus 4. Then we get 2 times x square plus 6x plus 9 minus 7x minus 25. Adding those two terms, we get minus 25. Then simplify this bracket, we get 2x square plus 12x plus 9 times 2 is 80 minus 7x minus 25. Then we get 2x square. We can add these two terms. 12x minus 7x is plus 5x. Then plus 18 and minus 25 is minus 7. Then we need to find the factors of this. Then our shortcut method, we get x square plus 5x minus 40. Here we give this 2 to this. Then factorize this. At one step we get 14, we get 7 times 2. Yes, okay. 14 minus 14 we get 7 times minus 2. Then we get the two factors as x plus 7 and x minus 2. Then we need to divide those constant term with the coefficient of x square. Then we get x plus 7 over 2, x minus 2 over 7, so 2 over 2. Then here we get 2x plus 7 over 2 and x minus 1. Then we get two factors as 2x plus 7 and x minus 1. Okay, this answer we get with our first method. Okay, now we can think this question like in this manner. Here we got this question. Okay, Here, like here in this is x plus 3 whole number. And this term is the square of the same term. Like x plus 3, here we have x plus 3. Here we have the square term of that. In our last few questions, we get like this. Ax square plus bx plus c. Here a, b, c are some real numbers. Here we get x term, and the first term is the square term of that. Like for example, previous question we get like x square plus 5x plus 6. Here in the middle term, it has x, and the square term of that is in front of that. Likewise, here we get x plus 3, and here we get x plus 3 whole square. We can think this as a one variable, like t o capital X o k o any y o any variable. Let give t as this variable x plus 3. Then we can see that this form a normal trinomial, quadratic trinomial. Like if we substitute x plus 3 as t, then we here get that t square. Here we get minus 7 times t. Here we get minus 4. Now this is look like a same trinomials that we factorize up to now. The change is here for the x, there is a t term. Others are remaining same. Then we need to factorize this with our current knowledge. Here we have our shortcut method. We simply multiply this 2 with this, and we get t square minus 7t minus 6. Here with our first shortcut method, we can get two factors as minus 8 and plus 1. One factor is t minus 8, other factor is t plus 1. Then we need to divide all the constant with the coefficient of t square. It is 2. Then we get 2 times 4 is 8. Then we get t minus 4 times t plus 1 over 2. Then we get t minus 4, and we get common denominator 2t plus 1. Then we got factors of 2 to t square minus 7t minus 4 as t minus 4 and 2t plus 1. Here they give answer with the x variable, but we put a new variable as t. Here t is defined by us, but they give the question with x variable. So we need to convert our final answer to variable x, because they give us the question with the variable x. Here for simplify this, we get the new variable as t. So now they expect us from the final answer with x. Now we have to change our t variable with x. Here we we take t as x plus 3. Then we substitute t variable as x plus 3. Then we got x plus 3 minus 4. Here what I do is simply substitute t from x plus 3. Then 2 times t means x plus 3 plus 1. Then finally we get x minus 1 times 2x plus 6 plus 1. Here finally we get x minus 1, 2x plus 7. This is the answer. We got our first method also. Yeah, the same answer. As you can see, the first method is somewhat long, but the second method is some easy method. Okay. I give 2 minutes for write down this. I think we get a 10 minutes break, and now is time is 4:47. We start our next session at 5 p.m. We have a separate lesson as binomial expansion, but now currently here I am doing the factorization. But for our next rule of the factorization, we need some knowledge about the binomial expansion. Here I give a brief idea about the binomial expansion in order to uh, do our next factorization rule. Here we need to expand a to the power a plus b whole square term. Here we can expand with our knowledge a plus b square is a plus b times a plus b. Then we can simplify those brackets. We get this term and multiply the whole bracket, and then we get this term and multiply the whole next bracket. Then we get a times a plus b times plus b times a plus b. Then we get a square plus ab plus ab plus b square. Then we get a square plus 2ab plus b square. Then we can get a plus b whole square is equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square. We need to memorize this formula for our A-levels. Here what we need to do is like, we can change the order of this as the following. We can get a square plus b square plus 2ab. This is the a plus b whole square expansion of the a plus b whole square. Here we can memorize there is a two terms. One is a and other one is b. Then there is a plus sign between those two. We need to expand the second power of the a plus b whole square. Then the first term is the square of the first term. It is a square. This is the square of the first term. Then we get the square of the second term. B square is the square of the second term. Then we get 2 times the multiplication of these two terms, A and B. A, B. Let me repeat again. If we have x plus y whole square, we can expand that as square of the first term and the square of the second term and 2 times first term times second term. Okay. This is the shortcut method for memorizing the x plus y whole square. Since there is way, two variables and two terms, we we give a name to this as binomial expansion because we expand this power. Like, likewise, if we have x plus 2y whole square, then we can simplify. We can expand this at once as square of the first term plus square of the second term. Second term is 2y whole square plus 2 times first term and the second term. Then we finally get x square plus 2y square means 2y times 2y plus 4 times x1. Here we get x square plus 2y times 2y means 2 times 2, 4. Y times y, we get y square. Then we get 4 times xy. Let me give another example. If we have 2x plus 3y whole square, then we can write this as the square of the first term, 2x x square, and the square of the second term, and 2 times first term and second term. Then here we get 4x square. In here we get 3 square means 9 and y square. Then we get 2 times 2x times 3y. Here 2 times 2 we get 4 and 4 times 3 we get 12. Then we get 12 xy. Okay. I think you can understand this. Now I will give a two question for you to try out this method by your own. First one is 5x minus 5x plus 3y whole square. Second one is 4x plus 3 z whole square. Okay. Try these two within 3 minutes and send me the answer. Okay. First, by expanding the first question, we get the square of the first term 25x square and the square of the second term 9y square and minus 2 times multiplication of those two terms. Then we get 25x square plus 9y square minus 30xy. Here, second one, 2x plus 3 square, we get 4 square plus 9 plus 2 times 2x times 3. We'll get 4x square plus 9 plus 12x. Okay. Now, if we have a plus b whole square, we know how to write this expansion. A square plus 2ab plus b square. If we have a minus b whole square, we know that expansion of this is a square minus 2ab plus b square. Now we have to do this other way around. It means if there is a terms, three terms like this, then we need to write this as sum two terms, addition of two terms, or subtractions of two terms whole square. Like if someone gives a square plus 2ab plus b square, then we need to write that it as a plus b whole square. If someone gives a square minus 2ab plus b square, then we need to write it as a minus b whole square. The same thing that we did previous, but this is other way around. Previously we expand this. Now we need to get that reverse our steps. Here for reversing the step, we need to identify there is only, if we consider this, there is only three terms. One is a square, other one is 2ab, other one is b square. If we find in those three terms, if we have a square term, here one square term, and here other square term, and here we have plus 2 times the one number that is squared in this step, and the other number which is squared in this step. Again, uh, I will give some examples and explain those again. Here, if we have 4x square plus 12x plus 9, the first one we need to identify is check whether there are two whole square terms. Like here, in here, we have one term is a square, this is a square number, and square term, and other also b square, it is also a square term. Then here we can observe that this is the 2x whole square. Here we can observe that this is 3 whole square. Then we have another term. Then we, if that term is consist of 2 times the first term and the second terms, then we can write this as a whole square. Let me repeat again. First, we need to try identify whether there are two square terms. In here, we can observe that this is 2x whole square. And here this we can think of as 3 square. Then we need to check the middle term. If the middle term consists of 2 times the first term multiplied by the second term, then we get 12x. If the second term is same as this, then we can write the this as 2x plus 3 whole square. Let me repeat another example. If we have 4 if we have x square minus 6xy plus 9y square. So this written as plus or minus one term and another term whole square. We need to first check whether there are two square terms. Simply we can see that this is the x square and this is the square term of 3y whole square. Then we need to check that the middle term is 2 times first term multiplied by the second term. Then we got 6 times xy. Here we have minus 1. That means minus 2 times first term multiplied by the second term. Then simply we can write back this as first term, since there is a minus sign, minus second term, this is 3y times whole square. Let me repeat another example for further understanding. Think first we have 9 square minus 6x plus 1. Then first we try to identify whether there are two square terms. Here we can simply identify this is the square of 1 and this is the square of 3x. Then we need to find a term 2 times first term and the second term. It is 6x. Then we can see the second term is minus 6x. That means second term is minus 2 times 3x times 1. Then we can simply rewrite back this as first term 3x and the middle term is minus 2 times 3x times 1. That means middle sign need to be minus and the last term is 1 square. Then we can rewrite back this as 3x minus 1 whole square. I think you can understand those steps. I will give question for you also. Yeah. First one is 4p square minus 12pq plus 9q square. Second question is 25x square plus 30xy plus 9y square. Okay. Try those two questions and send me the answers to me. Okay. Okay. I will answer those two questions. Here we can observe 4p square means 2p whole square and 9 times q square means 3q whole square. Then we check whether the middle term consists of 2 times first term times second term. Here we can see this is 12pq. Also we can see middle term is minus 2. Then it is consists of minus 2 times 2p times 3q. Then the final answer is 2p minus 3q whole square. The second question, the first term we can see 5x whole square. And the last term we can see 3y whole square. And we check whether The second term consists of 2 times 5x times 3y. Here we get 30xy. Here we observe this is a plus sign. Then it consists of plus 2 times 5x times 3y. Then we can write this as 5x plus 3y whole square. Okay. Now we are going to learn our next rule for our factorization methods. It is differences of, I think you already heard this in your O levels, difference of squares. This is another factoring methods. Then that we can factor any algebraic expressions. Simply, we can identify what are inside our method is. Here we have a difference, and here we have squares. Then by observing the topic, we can identify there can be squares and there can be different sign. Difference means one subtract by the other. Then the topic is consists about difference of two squares. That means here if we get one square term and subtract it with another square term. Here we can observe this can be factorized as first term a minus b times a plus b. Here we first observe what is the inside of the square term. It is a. Then we check whether there is a minus sign and check whether what term is square. Like in the square, what term is inside the square? Here inside b. In the first term, a is inside in the square, and in the second term, b is inside in the square side. Then we simply add those two numbers and subtract those two numbers. Let me repeat. We check the what is the number inside the square here. It is a. And we check what is the other number or expression inside the whole square. It is b. Then simply we add those two numbers or expressions and subtract those two. Then we can factorize a squared minus b square as a minus b times a plus b, or a plus b times a minus b. Addition of numbers and subtraction of the two numbers. Now, here we can prove this expression. Right? We need to prove that a minus b square is equal to a plus b times a minus b. Here we can prove this is the if we consider this as an equation, this is the left hand side and this is the right hand side. We need to prove those two are equal. What we can do is we simply get the right hand side. It is a plus b times a minus b. We simplify this with our knowledge. We know that we can simplify those two brackets as a times a minus b plus b times a minus b. Then we get a minus b common for those two terms. Then we get a minus b, sorry, b. Then we simplify this again. Then we get a square minus ab from these two and ab minus b square from these two. Let me repeat again. First, we multiply those two brackets and expand it. Then, by simplifying this, we get a square minus a. And by simplifying this, we get ab minus b square. Then, these two terms are same, and one has positive sign and other one has positive negative sign. Then simply we can remove those two. Like this, if this is minus 2, then this is plus 2. Like 2 minus 2 equals 0. Likewise, if the two terms are same and their sign is different, we can simply cancel those two terms. Then the remaining terms are a square minus b square, which is our left hand side. Then we prove that our right hand side is equal to left hand side. Then we can think of a square minus b square can be factorized as a minus b times a plus b. This can be, this is our next factorization rule. Simply, difference of squares can be factors as a minus b times a plus b. Okay, I will do some examples to further understand for you. First one is, let x square minus 4. To use this method, first we have need two whole square numbers or expressions. But here we only have one. Then we need to check. We need to write this as a whole square. Then we can write this as x square minus 4 is 2 to the power 2. Then we have square of the first term minus square of the second term. Then this is like difference of the squares. Then simply we can put x minus 2 times x plus 2 as our factors. Let me repeat another example. If we have a square minus 36, we have to check whether we can write this as a square minus square of a number. Simply 36 is 6 to the power 2. Then we can simply write this as a minus 6 times a plus 6. Okay, let me repeat another example. If we have 4x square minus 9y square, first we need to try to write this as square difference of squares of two expressions. Here 4x square means we can get 2x whole square, and 9y square means 3y whole square. Then we can factorize this by using difference of the squares. That means first term minus second term times first term plus second term. Okay, let me repeat another example. If you have 2p square minus 3q square, here we need to find out first term as a whole square and the second term as whole square. We know that in our O levels, 2 can be written as root 2 times root 2. That means 2 can be written as root 2 whole square. And likewise, any positive number, we can simply write that as square root a times square root a if a is greater than or equal 0. Likewise, we can write 3 as square root 3 times square root 3. This means square root 3 is whole square. Then we can apply this for the this simplifying the this expression. Simply we can think as 2 as root 2 whole square and there is a p square minus 3 as root 3 whole square and q square. Then we can think of first term as root 2p whole square and the second term as root 3q whole square. Then this is a difference of squares. Then simply we can get first term minus second term times first term plus second term. Okay. I think you have an idea about this. To further understanding, I will give you some question about this from this. First one is 16a square minus 25b square. Second one is x plus y whole square minus 4y square. Third one is 7x square minus 9y square. Okay, factorize these three with the knowledge of difference of squares. I give uh, 3 minutes for this also. Send me the answer. I will answer those 3 questions. First is 16a square minus 25b square. This can be written as 4a whole square minus 5b whole square. The term that inside of the square is 4a first term, second term is 5b. Then we can write this as first term minus second term times first term plus second term. Okay. The second question is x plus y whole square minus 4y square. Here inside the whole square we have x plus y. Inside the second term we have 2y whole square. Then the first term is x plus y minus second term is 2y. Then in the next bracket, first term is x plus y. Then the second term is plus 2y. Then here inside the first bracket, we have x plus y minus 2y. In the second bracket, we have x plus y plus 2y. Then here we can simplify these two terms. Y minus 2y means minus 1. Then we have x minus y. And in the second term, we can add 2y and y as we can get 3y. Then the second term is x plus 3y. Okay. In the last question, we have 3x square minus 7x square minus 3y square. Then the first term we can written as root 7 times x whole square. And the second term as root 3 times y whole square. Then we can, the first term is root 7x, subtract with the second term. And we simply add those two terms. Okay. I will do some advanced questions with this for your further understanding. Let we have a question like x square 4xy plus 4y square minus 4z square. With our previous knowledge, here we can see there are three terms. And here first term is a whole square. Here the third term is also whole square. And we can see that the middle term is consist of 2 times the first term and the last term. It is 4 times xy. And the sign is plus 2. Then we can write this as x plus 2y whole square. Let me repeat again. Here we observe that there are three terms, and we can observe there are two square terms. One is x square and one is 4 times y square. Then first square terms is it built from x, and the second square term is built from 2y. Then we check whether the middle term is consist of 2 times first term times the second term. We observe that this also same. Then we can write this as x plus 2y whole square. Then the other term is minus 4z square. Then 4z square can be written as 2 times whole square. Then this is the simply difference of two squares. Then we can factorize this as first term minus second term and first term plus second term. Then we have x plus 2y minus 2z times x plus 2y plus 2z. Okay. I will give 1 minute to write down this, as this is a somewhat advanced question for you. I will do another example like this. Think we have 9a square minus x square plus 14xy minus 49y square. Here, by going through these three terms, we can see this is a square term and this is also square term. Then we can think of this can be consist of like plus or minus 2 terms square of the plus or minus 2. But when factoring, normally if there is a minus signs, we keep out of the equation those minus signs. Like here we have 9a square. From this we can get minus out of the bracket. Then first term we can think of this is x square. If we remove the bracket, then we can get minus x square. And the second term we can think of minus 14xy. If we remove this bracket, then we get our plus 14xy. Then we get 49y square. I simply think minus 1 as the common factor for all these three terms and get minus 1 out of the bracket. Then we have 9a square minus x square minus 14xy plus 49 square. Here we get whole square of 7y. Here we get whole square of x. And we check whether the middle term consists of 2 times first term times second term. Here we observe that it is consist of that, but the sign is minus. Then we can think of middle term is consist of minus 2 times x times 7y. Then we can write these whole three terms as 9x square minus x. The first term is x, the second term is 7y, and the middle sign is minus. Then this can be written as x minus 7y whole square. Then we can write this as 9a square minus x minus 7y whole square. Then we can write 9a square as 3a whole square. And we have minus x minus 7y whole square. Then here we can observe that this is a simply difference of two squares. Then we can factorize this as first term minus second term times first term plus second term. Then we can factorize further simplify this as 3a minus x plus 7y times 3a plus x minus 7. Okay. I will give another 1 minute to write down this again. Okay. Please write with the proper understanding. Don't just copyright this that in the board. Okay. Now write another example. Here I get x to the power 4 minus 81. For this, I get first we try a simple example. X to the power 4 minus 1. Then for do the difference of its square, we need first term as a square term minus sign, and second is another square term. Here we get x to the power 4. Here we can think of x to the power 4 consists of x to the power 2 times x to the power 2. We know that multiplying the same terms, the powers are they are adding, like x to the power 4 means x to the power 2 times x to the power 2. Then we can write x to the power 4 as x to the power 2 whole square. Okay. Now we can substitute x to the power 4 as x to the power 2 whole square and 1 as 1 square. We know that any power of 1 is 1. Then we can think 1 to the power 2 is 1, 1 to the power 4 is 1, 1 to the power 3 is 1, like that. Here, now we observe there is a 1 term and there we have its whole square. And there is another term and we have whole square. And also we have different signs of the middle. Then we need to check the term inside of the square. We observe that the first term inside of the square is x square. Then we simply get the first term minus second term that inside the whole square times first term plus the second term. Let me repeat. Here x square x to the power 4 means x square to the power 2. Then inside the power 2 we have x to the power 2. Then we simply the first term is x to the power 2 and we have minus sign. Then we have the in the second term the square is we have the square as 1. And then we simply get that now. Then we have x to the power 4 minus 1 as a x square minus 1 x square plus 1. But if we further consider this term, here we can again observe that this is a square of one term minus square of another term. Then we can further factorize this bracket. Simply, we can see x square minus 1 means first term x, second term 1, x minus 1, first term plus the second term. Then we can substitute x square minus 1 as x minus 1 times x plus 1. Then we can further factorize this as x minus 1 times x plus 1 times x square plus 1. Okay. Write down this, and after 1 minute, I will give a question for you to try out. Go. After writing this, try this question. A to the power 4 minus b to the power 4. And send me the answer for this. Okay. I will do this question. Here we got a to the power 4 minus b to the power 4. For difference of two squares, we need two square numbers. We can simply write this as a to the power 2 square minus b to the power 2 whole square. Then we can factorize this as a square minus b square times a square plus b square. Then here we can see that this is further can be factorized as by using difference of square. Then this can be written as a minus b, a plus b times a square plus b square. Also keep that in mind, a plus b whole square is not equal to a square plus b square. Like in previous, we learned this as a plus b whole square is equal to square of the first term, square of the second term, and plus 2 times first term times second term. This is not equal. Don't, if we get this, don't write as a plus b whole square. Okay, I will do another example. This is 3 to the power 3 times y to the power 5 minus 48 times y. Now this, now we can, if we have common terms for all the terms, then we need to get them out. Like we can observe that 3 is common for this term and this term. Then we can simply get out 3. And also we can observe that y is common for both terms. Then we can simply subtract out y also. Then first, like before doing a difference for square or any trinomial, factorizing in trinomial, first we need to try check whether there is a common factor for all the terms. Here we can observe for 3 times y to the power 5 minus 48y. Both terms has the common term as 3y. Then we get out the common term. Here we consist of y to the power 4. And here we get 48 times y means 3y times 60. Then here 16 is remain. Now the first term we get out 3y, and here remaining y to the power 4 minus 60. Then we can write y to the power 4 as y square y to the power 2 whole square, and minus 16 as 4 to the power 2. Now we have square of y to the power 2 and the square of 4. Now we have two square terms and the middle sign is minus. Then we can use our factoring method of difference of two squares. Then we can simply write down this as 3y times y square. First term is y square and the second term is y square minus 4 and y square plus 4. Okay. Then here we can see here also y square minus 2 to the power 2. Then here we can also see that this is a difference of two squares. Then we can write this further as 3 times y, and y square minus 4 means y minus 2 plus 1 times y minus y plus 2. Then there is a remaining factor y square plus 4. This is the answer for this. Okay, I will give 1 minute to write down the answer for this also. Without doing anything, first we need to check whether there are common factors for all the terms. Then we need to find whether it is a trinomial, a quadratic trinomial, or whether we can put difference of a square or any other method. After writing this, try to factorize this. A cube b minus a times b cube. Try to factorize this and send me the answer. Here we can first we need to identify whether there are common factors for this. Here we can see AB can be common. AB is common for both terms. Then here A square is remain and here B square is remain. Then we can get AB times this is a difference of two whole squares. Then we can simply factorize this as A minus B times A plus B. Okay. Now I will do some example for you. Think x square minus y square plus x plus y. Now we need to factorize by using our knowledge about common factoring or difference of squares or factoring quadratic trinomials or any other methods. Here we can simply we can see that there is a two difference of square. Then we can put for this x minus y times x plus 1. Then there are remaining x plus y term. Then by observing this as a one term and this as another term, we can simply identify x plus y is common for both terms. Then we can factor out it from both terms. Then here it is remain x minus 1, x minus y, and here x plus y means 1 times x plus y. Then if we remove x plus y out of the brackets and then there is a remaining plus 1. Then simply this can be factorized as x plus y times x minus y plus 1. Okay. Write down this. I will give another question for this. Okay. Now think of this question. For is this is somewhat difficult question. First, I will give you to try about 2 minutes and send me the answers. This is the question. For x square plus b square minus x square plus 4ab. Okay. Try this question and send me the answer. Factorize this. Now we need to write down this as factors of 2 or 3 or any. Now, factorize this expression. First try this and I will give another question. This is AB plus AC minus B plus C whole square. Try these two questions. This is somewhat difficult than the other question. Okay, now I will factorize those two. Here, like factoring means after factorize, we only have multiple of products. Here, one is x plus y, and we have multiplication sign. Then we have another factor. Like likewise, all factors are combined with multiple multiplication sign. This is a one factor, and this is multiplication. This is another factor, and this is a multiplication and another factor. There cannot be a factor, then plus sign, another factor. This is not fully factorized. We have only one factor, then multiplication, then another factor, then multiplication, so on. Okay. Now our first question is 4a square plus b square minus x square plus 4ab. Here we have a, b, x in our terms. First, we try to keep the similar terms with the one group. Like here, 4a square plus b square plus 4ab can be think of a one group, and x minus x square as another group. Why I think of that is here ab term a times b, ab are in a single term. Here we have ab terms. For identify any factoring, we try to keep these ab terms as a one term. Then this is another term. Then if we closely observe these three terms, here first term is 2a whole square, and the second term is a whole square. Then we can identify the third term is consist of the multiplication of 2 times the first term and the second term, and sign is plus. Then we can think of this as 2a plus b whole square. Let me repeat. Here we can observe there are two square terms, and also we can observe the third term is consist of 2 times first term times second term. Then these three terms can be written as 2a plus b whole square. Then there is a remaining minus x square. Then we can think this as 2a plus b whole square minus x square. This is simply difference of two squares. Then the first term is 2a plus b, second term is x. Then we can first term minus second term times first term plus second term. Then we can finally, this is 2a plus b minus x times 2a plus b plus x. Okay. Now I will do the second question. Second is ab plus ac minus b plus c whole square. ab plus ac minus b plus c whole square. Here we can observe that this is a b plus c whole square. If we closely look these two terms, we can see for these two terms we can get factored out A because A is common for this term as and the second term. Then these two terms can be combined as A times B plus C. Let me repeat. When we see these two terms, we can see that A is common for these two terms. Then we can factor out A. Then this is A times B plus C. Then the other term is B plus C whole square. Then we have the first term and the second term. Now we can see our first rule. Both terms has B plus C is both common for both terms. Then we can get B plus C factor. Then A is remaining from this term minus B plus C is remaining from this term. Then further we can simplify this B plus C times A. Then we can remove this bracket by multiplying the minus sign. A minus B minus this is the final answer. Okay. Write down this also. Okay. Today we learn some techniques for factorization. First technique is common factor. The second term is second method is factoring quadratic quadratic trinomials. The other one is factoring with difference of squares or difference of two squares. And we also solve some question combined with those. And when we when we think of the factorization, we here we need another two things. Factorization of addition of two cube numbers and difference of two cube numbers. This is still remain for us. I will plan to uh, cover those two and all the factorization methods in our next class. After completing the factorization part, I plan to cover binomial expansion. Uh, Those are regarding your foundation course because we need to do a foundation course for removing the gap between O level and A level. We need the proper foundation for fulfill the gap between O level and A level. For foundation course, I will not give a separate notes for you. I cover all the topics, but for your topics related to A level, I give when we learning those topics, I will give a separate note when we doing the class. Okay. For today, I think these are enough for today. Mm, I will hope you will join the next Sunday at 3 p.m. Okay. See you next Sunday and have a nice day.